the Quehanna Trail. The campsite I'm hoping for tonight looks like it might be the remnants of an old farm or something like that. Got to kind of make a choice. Do I want a cool campsite in the dark or a decent campsite with some time with the sun out? That's the decision I have to make. Oh, there's the rain again. Hey everybody, Syntax77 here, and let me tell you what the current situation is. I am right now standing in central Pennsylvania, and we're about to do a little 2-day, 1-night backpacking trip. I'm actually standing more specifically at the Beaver Run Dam Wildlife viewing area parking lot, and right over there is a trail leading into the woods. We're going to take that and do some hammock camping. I'm going to make a loop right now. I actually got a map years ago from viewer William S. in Pennsylvania for something called the Quehanna Trail. That is actually a 70-ish mile loop in and of itself, but like I said, I'm here for 2 days, so that's a little aggressive. So what I'm going to do is, using some other trails in the area as connectors, make like a 18 or 20-ish mile loop out of that and do a little backpacking. I got my backpack over here. I switched it up back to the ULA Ohm 2.0. That's the lightest pack I have. Nice and lightweight. And last trip I did the Hammock, which is like luxury hammock camping, if you will, but it is heavy. For this trip, complete U-turn. I went to my favorite minimalist hammock, the Dutchware half-wit hammock. 10 ounces for the hammock, and then I got a suspension system for it that's around 3-ish ounces, so we're a lot lighter on this trip. We're going fast and light. Because I'm using that hammock system combined with my Hammock Gear Dyneema fiber tarp, which is only 5 ounces, I was able to get my base weight for this trip down to the neighborhood of 8 pounds or so. Base weight being everything excluding food and water, consumables like that. And in my case, camera gear, I didn't count in the weight, which pretty much comprises the top little section of my pack here. We'll get to all the details of the pack later. Although for those of you gram weenies that really want to know, I'll put a link in the video description down below with a detailed accounting of all my gear and the weights and whatnot. But like I said, we'll check it out as we go. Right now, I'm gonna lock up the Jeep, put on the pack, and we'll hit the trail. Beautiful weather, got some nice nature sounds already. I drove up this morning. I did hit some traffic. It's only supposed to be a 4-hour drive for me from down towards northern Delaware, below Philly a little bit. But that put me on the trail right now around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I expected a little bit more of a earlier start than that, but it's okay. The campsite I'm hoping for tonight is midway on the loop. Seems pretty cool from what I've read about it. It looks like it might be the remnants of an old farm or something like that. And it's pretty much dead center. Out of 18 miles, it's right around the 9-mile mark. So we got 7 hours of daylight right now because it is the second week of May. So at least we have a longer day on our side. And in the next 7 hours, we just gotta rack out 9 miles and get a nice place to set this hammock up. And as you can see, it's a bit of a fire road vibe on the way in, but we should get into some wilderness trails in a little bit. But I'll enjoy that sun for now. Wow, look at this wide open area right here. Pretty cool. Clear blue sky. Not bad. Like I said, tomorrow should involve some rain, unfortunately. Today looks completely clear. Tomorrow, 100% chance of rain, which is why a little bit of the weight in my pack today, well, I saved some weight because it's a shorter trip, so I didn't pack any spare clothes, other than in there I have a long sleeve t-shirt for if it gets cooler, as well as a packable synthetic jacket from Outdoor Vitals, their adventure jacket. I got that stuff back there. It should keep me warm in the morning because the low could be in the 40s, but right now it's nice. But tomorrow, it's I don't think I'm escaping the rain at all. I think it's a pretty solid chance that I'm going to get rained on potentially the whole day. So I have a full rain suit, I have a parka top, and some rain pants that'll go over top of these, keep me dry on the way out. But that's okay. Right now it's looking pretty beautiful, so I'm not complaining. All right, here's our first decision, our first junction. I believe gravel road keeps going that way. It's still a wide trail, but it splits off to the right as well. I believe we go right. Of course, it wouldn't be the end of the world if I had made a wrong turn right now, considering that the campsite is dead center, mileage-wise, at 9 miles out of 18. But from what I read, today we're going to get the most elevation gain. There's going to be a dip in the terrain down 1,000 feet or so, and then back up. Actually, it's about 800 feet down and 800 up. That's the bulk of our elevation change for the trip. And then tomorrow, when it's raining, I purposely chose to go this direction because that way, tomorrow's elevation, if you look at a elevation profile, looks pretty flat. So that'll make things a little easier, considering it seems like I'll be in a downpour. So we'll get the hard stuff out of the way today. I also read that most of the trail is going to be in the woods or on the edge of the woods, and to watch out for false trails, animal trails, etc. So I think we will not go down there. We'll stay over here and stay on the edge of the woods. In fact, there's a yellow blaze, which is how this trail is blazed. In this case, a double blaze, and the top one is to the left, which means we're going to turn left. I actually got contacted recently on a video in the comments from somebody who worked for Pennsylvania, I don't know if it was Forest Service or something to that effect. And it was on one of my videos where I was talking about trail blazings, and I was talking about the Black Forest Trail and how there were some confusing spots where the blazes were straight and other times they were right or left. I've always known it to be the top blaze tells you the direction to go. He did point out to me, though, that in their guidelines, at least for Pennsylvania, the left and right thing holds, but if it's a double blaze but it's straight up and down, that means just look out. There might be something that causes attention in the trail, whether that's a terrain feature or an upcoming hazard or something like that. So that might be why that confused me in the past. So that was news to me. A straight up and down double blaze means attention, be aware, get ready for something. And cocked to the left or the right on top means turn left or right. So there you go. And as you can see, we're off of that fire road vibe, and we're onto a nice, still flat, which is nice, and grassy, narrow trail. And another one of our friends, the yellow blaze. Just keep on following those. Quite a change in scenery. We are in the pines and the moss and the shade. A little pocket of sun right there, though. That's nice. Hello, sun. But definitely changed up on us as far as the surroundings go. Definitely getting green. Spring is here. And oh, not exactly what I expected to see in the middle of the woods. Does someone live here? Maybe a trail register? This is actually, according to my GPS, right around where we're going to make a sharp left turn. Pardon me, right turn. We're not going to go straight. We're going to go right. And let's see what's in here. Oh, yeah, it looks like a trail register. What do we got here? Do not remove. No problem. Marion Brook's natural area was set aside in memory of a woman who was an important environmentalist in Western PA. Very cool. So, looks like it's kind of an Appalachian Trail style little logbook. Beautiful fall day. 9/28/13. Wow, this book's been around for a while. What's the first page? 2011. No, 09. Wow. Let's see something recent. State College, PA. And it's written like it was held with a pen and a fist. All right. Somebody brought some beer along from State College. Last entry, 5/11/19. Beautiful day. Turkey hunting. Nice. Park near Quehanna Wild Area sign. And hike south. Yeah, my dad got a turkey in Delaware a couple weeks ago. I haven't had the same luck, and I was up in PA at the cabin. But that's cool, getting out for some turkey hunting. All right, Elizabethtown, PA, shout out to Dan. All right, well, we'll put that back. Guess we don't need the flag. No mailmen around here. No bicycles or horses either. And we'll head this way. All right, not too much further along, following the yellow blazes. I got a double blaze here, yellow, and some yellow down there, as well as yellow over here. So they seem to blaze everything, at least so far, in yellow. So watch out for that. From what I researched, I'll be passing this to the right. That's another loop trail. And from these initials here to Quehanna Highway, and I know I have a road crossing coming and I can hear some road noise down there. So I'm going to bear to the left here and make my way along. Very nice weather so far. It's really holding out. Birds are out, that's for sure. And we're just cruising along. I'm taking my time. It's a little after 2 o'clock. I'm not worried about it. I think at this pace, I'll still be to camp with an hour or two to spare, daylight-wise. I probably will lunch break at some point. Late lunch, I guess, since I kind of started at lunchtime. But I'll probably find a stream or something, hang out, do my usual creekside ramen noodles if possible. But for right now, just kind of meandering about and enjoying the trail. It's been very flat so far. Like I said earlier, at some point we are going to dip down and then pop back up. But the first, we're working on 3 miles, 2 going on 3 miles here. Not a lot of elevation change at all. Just really relaxed and chill. Which honestly, as I was mentioning earlier, my last trip was with the heavier yet more accommodating flat-lying Hammock hammock. I was so close to bringing it on this trip too. And if I wasn't filming, I probably would have, but I wanted to switch it up for the video. Could totally get away with extra weight on this trail. But I will say the 8-pound or so base weight does feel pretty good. It's pretty much a walk in the woods, and I got everything I need on my back to camp tonight. That's nice. And in fact, there's a road right there and a bunch of blazes to keep me on task. And a good example, my friend from Pennsylvania, Parks and Rec or something like that, there's a good example that he pointed out to me. Double blazes, but it's not offset at all. It's just saying, hey, something's going on, look out. In our case, it means we're out at this road crossing. And over here, QTCC and more yellow blazes. So, across the road and back into the woods we go. Although, ironically, as soon as I say that, we seem to have popped back out of the woods into a really open, beautiful, kind of scrubby area. Pretty cool. In fact, I was actually reading online when looking into doing this trail. Somebody describing it said, if you're too far north of Dolly Sods, this is about the next best thing, the Quehanna Trail area. And now that I'm here, I can totally see what he's saying. I would have to agree with that. If you're unaware of Dolly Sods and you're on the mid-Atlantic coast kind of area, I would highly recommend looking into it. It's in West Virginia, northern West Virginia actually, and kind of hard to describe, but the terrain and environment, just it seems to change about every mile. One minute you think you're in a hardwood forest, next minute you think you're in a tundra, scrubby stuff, wide open. It's pretty cool, and this is definitely reminiscent. I've had a lot of changes in topography, ecosystems, etc. It's really nice. The sun and weather is definitely helping as well. I bet you could probably find some good camping around here if you really trudged in. But for me, got another 5 or 6 miles before that happens. But it's nice to walk through. It's very pretty. I am getting hungry though. We just passed water right down there. And from looking at my map, there will be another stream crossing coming up within a half mile. I think maybe that's going to be a little noodle break. All right, little ramen noodle action. Switched it up on this trip. I got an alcohol stove instead of Esbit cubes. I kind of go back and forth between the two. I guess I should bust this up inside the plastic here. So that's going. I'll probably show that later tonight or maybe at breakfast tomorrow. That stove system, but it's pretty simple. And let this go a little bit. When it comes to a boil, put the lid on, have a little noodle lunch, fuel up, eat that, and I'll be back on the trail before you know it. All right, we're up to 4.5, 5 miles-ish in. It's 4:21 after my little lunch break. We're up to another fire road, and we're not going to go up there. Mosquito Creek doesn't sound too inviting anyway. We're going to hang a right, and I'd say within a quarter to a half mile max, we'll finally link up with the Quehanna Trail. So we'll just keep on the gravel here, keep our eyes peeled for the turnoff. And that Quehanna Trail should be to the right. QT, Quehanna Trail, this way. Star of the trip, the Quehanna Trail, or Quehanna Trail, or Quehanna Trail, or I don't know, whatever it is. And it sure didn't take long after splitting off of that road. You can see the topography has changed a bit. More of a gully vibe here. And I think, I would say it's safe to say this is when we're gonna get that 800-foot elevation drop. And I can hear water down there rushing along in the distance. So we'll probably go down to the water level around 1,200 feet. We were at 2,100 on the road there. And now we'll make our way down to 1,200. And then unfortunately, back up to 21. And then start making our way towards a spur trail that'll lead us to a camp referred to as Arch Spring, I do believe. And we'll probably set up there. So a few more miles to go. A little slippery. Not sure if this is stable or not. All right, we made it. Beautiful area down in here. Real nice. Still got the sun overhead. And speaking overhead, looks like the trail's going up now because we just crossed the water. So, time for a little uphill burn. Well, it's been a while since that water, but we're still at 1,300 feet. So, it seems to be a more gradual ascent than I may have anticipated. Do see a road here. We're gonna head right. And we still have that, I guess, 700 feet of elevation gain push in front of us. At this point, light's still out, but it is pushing up on 6 o'clock. It's 5:51. I got 2.5 hours of daylight. Here's the road. We're actually gonna go up here and then branch back off. I guess I gotta make a decision. It looks like it's actually another 2 miles before that ideal campsite, the Arch Springs, which seems pretty cool location-wise from the descriptions I've read. But got to kind of make a choice. Do I want a cool campsite in the dark, potentially, or a decent campsite with some time with the sun out? I don't know. I'm just going to keep hiking and see how it goes. It depends how rugged this uphill is and how much it slows me down. I'm just going to play it by ear right now. But yeah, that's the decision I have to make. But for now, we'll just keep on pushing and keep our eyes peeled for blazes. Actually, there's one right there. I believe that might be us. Actually, on second look, no, not at all. We got about a half mile before it bends right. I think there might be an auto road to help us get over this water, which is a lot thicker right here, as you can see. But we'll find out when we get there, I guess. All right, double blazed off the road. Looks like this is going to be it, and it's orange. That's what we want. So let's see what happens. The road actually banks up pretty high there, so maybe an auto bridge isn't an option after all. Although, looks like we got a footbridge, so that's nice. I don't have to get my feet wet this late in the day. That's nice. Usually they dry out pretty well from hiking, but not bad. Water's running good. All right, so we're gonna get across this just fine. Keep on keeping on. That water's rushing pretty good around these parts. Pretty nice waterfalls. I've been stopping to look at those, although I should probably be mindful of my time. It is 6:40, so we got about an hour, less than an hour and a half of daylight. Got some double blazes there. And thankfully, got a little makeshift, or I should say pretty nice bridge. So, a little bouncy, but at least we don't have to go through that. So I think we're going to depart the water right now. From looking at my topo map, it looks like the Arch Springs campsite that I think I'm heading towards, light depending, does have water, which kind of makes sense. Hence the name. It looks like it starts right around there, so it probably is a spring of some sort, natural spring, but we'll see. And just gradually getting that elevation back. Oh, there's a little fire pit there, so if I really needed to, that's a good clearing. I could camp there, but I think I'm gonna push on. Worst case scenario, I get to camp at dark, but we can take a look at my setup in the morning in brighter light and whatnot. Whew. At this point though, I'm definitely looking forward to dinner. My wife couldn't make it on this trip. Some people sometimes ask why she doesn't come out. She loves to hike and backpack, but just work schedules don't always line up. So I'm out here solo again, but her contribution to this trip was to pick out my backpacking meals, 2 of them at least. So my dinner tonight looks pretty good. Full Thanksgiving theme. I'm looking forward to that. Sometime, I hope. But in the meantime, we'll just keep getting this elevation, waiting for the next intersection. Well, the terrain has flattened out. We are up to 2092, just about 2,100 feet, and over 10 miles, or close to 10 miles. So, based on, well, just the topography that I can see with my own eyes and the elevation data, I'd say our push is over. We're also down to 58 minutes of daylight, or at least 58 minutes till sunset, and then we'll get some civil twilight, I guess. But either way, our time is limited. At this point though, because I know that we're up to this elevation, I also know that we're pretty close. So I think I'm pot committed at this point. I'm going to push through to the campsite that I've been aiming for all day and just go for it. When I get there, yeah, I'm not going to have much daylight, but I'll throw up my hammock, which is dead simple, with the Dutchware half-wit hammock that I have, and then I'm going to get right to, I guess, eating some dinner. Maybe, depending on conditions, have a campfire, but my main priority is food. I am hungry. I also just drank almost the last of my water. Oh, and look, here we go. Here is our intersection. So this quote-unquote road, or at least it was, it's probably a logging road from years and years ago when the area was logged before it was bought by the state. This area actually was extensively logged. It was old growth forest, and between I believe it was steel companies and logging companies back in the late 1800s, they really cut it down, that old growth stuff. And then early 1900s, or maybe a little later in the 1800s, railroads were coming through. Sparks from the trains, believe it or not, actually flew off a lot of times and started wildfires and burned stuff down even more. At which point the state stepped in after some conservation groups got involved, and now you have the Moshannon and the Elk State Forest. But I don't know how I got off on that history lesson. The point is, though, I'm going to bang a left right here. Now, what we really want to do is continue on, and we'll do that tomorrow. But we're just going to take it a little ways and find ourselves this Arch Springs campsite, hopefully. All right, let's do it. Well, I got two things right now. 3 or 4 deer up ahead, and a couple dozen raindrops. Wasn't expecting that tonight. Well, deer wouldn't surprise me, but based on the forecast, I thought I was going to be scot-free on rain, but haven't had cell service. So as you may be able to hear, the system seems to have potentially sped up. So I do have a weather band radio with me. I'll probably click that on at camp, get a little update. But change of plans. I think my first priority is going to be set up a tarp. Get under that and take it from there. All right, this is pretty cool. Definitely the remnants of something. Like I said, the accounts I read say it's an old farm or something like that, and maybe a farmhouse. But I think these trees look pretty good. It is 7:55, 20-ish minutes or so of daylight and raindrops. So, no time for ceremonies. That's my rain jacket. Hopefully I don't need that right now, but I don't know. And buried down here I have my Cuban fiber tarp, 5 ounces, believe it or not. It's 8.5 by 12 foot. And I'm gonna string that up, prioritize that, and then once I have that up, I can kind of calm down a little bit and take it from there. There's a nice little fire pit in the remnants of the foundation over there. So if this blows past, I'll still be able to have a nice fire tonight. Worst case scenario, I'll just hunker down under the tarp here, cook my meal, and set up my hammock. Do everything I need to do once I'm under the tarp. So let's get that going. Alright, got that out. Still hear the drops coming. Get some fence spikes. Probably droop this down a little bit to get it a little lower. Although for now, without the wind, I'm thinking not too worried about blowing sideways rain. It's really just some light drops. So I'll probably keep it high for now and just get set up. And then I can pitch it down lower later on. Got some branches in the back there that are nice for a porch mode. Don't really have that option in the front, but we'll go straight to the ground. And I'm pretty much going to max out these lines, which are adjustable. I got Dutchware hookworms. There we go. Got a loop on this end for my tent spike. And par for the course with Pennsylvania. A lot of rocks on the ground. more, more than dirt, but I think that's actually pretty solid. So this side will be a little more prone to tripping hazards, but it'll give me some space if it does really open up and I'm stuck underneath. In fact, watch out for the tripping hazard. I don't know what that used to be. Maybe a cellar entrance or something. Another reason to not be over here tonight. Don't want to fall on that when it's dark. But over here, as you can see, I went to the branches and just did a quick kind of bite right there. It'll hold, but it'll be quick to release. And with the tarp worms, I can pull these down, and I can't show you with one hand, but if I twist this after I tension it, then I can kind of keep that exactly where I want it. So tie it to the tree and then adjust from the tarp. And I do have shock cord here, so if wind kicks up, I have a little bit of play there, so I'm not stressing out the tarp too bad. Seems to work pretty well. All right, same thing over here. And on the spot, a little rough on the GPS. I might have to reposition this somewhere with a clearer view. But I sent a message to my wife with this button to let her know that I'm camping here tonight, and I'm good to go. So I have porch mode going on. I'm kind of high in the front here with a little bit of an angle over here on this side to hopefully make the rain run that way if it opens up. I'm lower on the back side here, which is where that old cellar is. And I got some old bricks that I found from the foundation laying around. I can use this as a little base for my alcohol stove. And, well, I guess I just need some seating. On other trips, I've brought a little camp stool along. It's like 1.25 pounds or so. I didn't do that on this trip because I wanted to be nice and light. So I do want to sit on something. Let me see here. Suppose this will work. There's something rattling around in it. God knows what that is. Hopefully it's not a nest of some sort. But got a 55-gallon drum. I do have a little 1/2 ounce Dutchware sip pad. So let me see here. Oh yeah, living the dream right now. All right, I can do this. Put my bricks down, make a little spot for my stove, and got some seating. And then later on these same 2 trees, of course, I'll put up my hammock. But for now, I'm not going to put the hammock up. It's in my pack. It's nice and dry under the tarp here. I'm going to keep it nice and open while I hang out and cook some dinner, turn on the radio, see if I can't get a weather report. And then later on, when I'm ready for bed, I'll throw that up. But this is pretty good. I like it. Nice and peaceful. Little raindrops on the tarp. And dinner on the way.
Here is the latest National Weather Service forecast for Clearfield, Elk, and Cameron counties, including the boroughs of Clearfield and Ridgeway. Tonight, a chance of rain until midnight, then rain after midnight. Lows in the mid-40s. East winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Chance of rain near 100%. Sunday, rain. Highs in the upper 40s. East winds 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts up to 25 miles an hour. Chance of rain near 100%.
The weather forecast is wet, to say the least, but we'll deal with that tomorrow. Right now it actually stopped raining, which is nice, so I may venture out and try to start a fire, but for the moment, I'm going to get into some dinner. So tonight we got a little turkey dinner, and it's got stuffing, white turkey, and vegetables. She does like me to eat my vegetables, so I'll be doing that tonight. Sounds good. It's a Mountain House meal. Takes about 10 ounces of water. My alcohol stove, which I used earlier for my noodles. Got a little striker right here, and I'm just going to lay it up with that, which usually works pretty well. Although a lot of people tend to want to flick forward with this, right? But that's a good way to knock over your alcohol stove, which isn't good. So I like to hold this part, right, in place and pull back with the striker. And that way I'm pulling away my titanium cook pot. And hopefully I have enough space. You can tell the wind is coming from over on this side. So I'll wrap that around there, whew, without burning my thumb off. Let it go, I'm gonna guess for this, 5-ish minutes. And have that ready to go. Within 10 minutes, it should be good. I am probably gonna let it sit for like 20-ish minutes or more while I collect some firewood and see if I can't get a fire going. All right, let's see what we got going on here. I actually did, the rain stopped, so I got a little fire going on in the fire pit over there in the foundation structure, if you will. We'll see how that keeps up. But I'm back under the tarp. I got my turkey dinner. Let's see how it is. It smells amazing. It's certainly hot. Burning my hands here. A little stuffing going on. Some turkey. Let's try it. Look at that steam. Beautiful. Oh, it's hot. Oh. And it's really good too. Oh man. Oh, I'm in heaven right now. I got a fire to my left. I got some turkey dinner right in front of me. All right. My wife made a good call. That is amazing. I'll have to eat this carefully. Don't want to drop any food around me because I'm sleeping right here. Man, that's good. A little bit of a gravy in there. I'm happy. It's calm, peaceful. A little breeze through the treetops, but nothing too bad yet. I imagine in the middle of the night, based on the forecast on the radio, it could get a little dicey, but I'll put the hammock up in a little bit and probably pitch the tarp down a little tighter for sleeping, just in case it really opens up and the wind picks up. But yeah, pretty good day, really good meal. So I'll finish this off, gather up my food and snacks, put it in a bear bag, find a tree around here, and get it up in the air so it's nice and safe from the critters. And then I'll turn in, and before I know it, it'll be time to tackle another 9 miles. But for right now, I'm going to enjoy my meal, enjoy the night, soak it all in. I guess at some point I'll have to get up and make breakfast, but not super motivated to do that. I think I'll hang out in here for a little bit. Not in a super rush to get out of here. I got 9 miles to do to get out and back to the car and head home today. And yeah, like I said, maybe we'll get a break in the rain. But no matter what, I think there's going to be rain gear and some wet hiking in my future. You can see here I got my procession of gear hanging from the ridgeline right there. That gives a little structure to the hammock. It also gives me somewhere to hang my stuff. My sunglasses that I won't need today, I believe. My watch, what's the temperature there? It's like 44 degrees. Got my cool new knife from Birdshot. That's a channel on YouTube. He does knife reviews. He noticed that I lost my SOG Blink, which was a thin pocket knife I used to carry. but I lost it a couple years ago. That's a Benchmade bug out. I'm loving this thing, so thank you, Birdshot, for that. It's like 2 ounces, nice and thin, so I can back pocket carry it, and doesn't weigh me down too much on the trail. My headlamp there that I used last night, and my Ridgeline organizer. And I got my battery charger in there for my camera gear, as well as my phone and some other items. It is raining steady. And you can see in the distance there my food bag. I'll have to get that down at some point. Put that up last night just so no critters get at it. The remnants of the old farmhouse there. My barrel that ran away down the hill. And pack seems to be okay. I got a Dutchware pack cover on that. That's for when I'm hiking, keeps it dry, but that kept the blowing rain off of it last night. You can see that it is pretty moist, but my interior contents should be good. And there's my boots there that are plenty wet from yesterday because I went in some of those streams. So they're soaking wet. My socks, I'm actually drying them out a little bit. I got them in the interior of my underquilt there. My Hammock Gear Phoenix. That kept me nice and toasty last night, despite that little drop in temperature. But this is a 30-degree Phoenix. It's 3/4 length, and on top I got my 40-degree Burrow, which is a quilt. Although it has buttons around the top, it's got a little foot box down the bottom, so keeps my feet snug. Now, because I have the 3/4 length pad, or I should say underquilt, sorry, that reduces the weight and the bulk, but it doesn't actually extend down past the bottom of my feet. I'd say from maybe midway between my knee and my foot. It does stick out when I stretch out. I'm kind of curled up now, but there you go. You can see that there. But that's an easy solution to that, is just that pad I showed you yesterday. That little foam pad. I just tucked that down underneath of my feet. I actually put it down in the foot box so it doesn't go anywhere. And simple, for 1/2 ounce. That keeps my feet warm at night. And I've been pretty good. Real good, actually. So good that I don't want to get out of this hammock. You can see my suspension system down there. That yellow strap is just a little Kevlar strap. It's just a couple feet long for wrapping around the tree. And it runs to my whoopee hook system that I'm using right now. So that's just a piece of braided am steel. And it's a pretty elegant solution. And they're about 1.5 ounces, 1.25 ounces per side. Super lightweight. And keeps me up off the ground. I'll relax a little bit more. And no bugs around, but you'd be surprised. This bug net, actually, it doesn't make me hot in the summer, but I do notice that it kind of keeps the wind off of me and keeps me a little warmer. It's surprisingly kind of nice, that bug net, which is just the just really the top of the quilt to keep any bugs off of my face. Oh yeah, I'm pretty comfortable. I think I might I might just take an early morning nap. Eventually I'll get up. Alright, I'm out and about checking out the old chimney in this structure here, and it's drizzling. A lot of it's just being blown off the trees right now. It's coming and going in waves, but I got my full rain gear on, as you can see. Got my pants on as well, and I think it's going to stay that way today. I think my basic strategy right now is going to be, I will clear off my items. Oh, there's the rain again. Clear off my items on the ridgeline here, pack those up in the pack, and then I will pack up my underquilt, my top quilt. They just go right in these little stuff sacks, so that'll be easy. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take the hammock down and get that out of the way so I can bring my barrel back and do a little breakfast. My wife got me or picked out my dinner last night, the turkey, which was very good. And for breakfast, we're going full carb today. She got me mango sticky rice from Backpacker Pantry, which usually I haven't had Backpacker Pantry meal in probably 5 years. They're not my favorite compared to some of the other brands, at least the ones that I tried years ago, but we're going to give them another try. But the hammock will come down easy because the whoopee hook system here that I was talking about goes around the tree. It's adjustable right there, and I tighten it up, but it unhooks real quick and easy right off of the loop on the end of the Dutchware half-wit hammock. So I can quickly undo one end and then just stuff the whole hammock down into the double-ended stuff sack right here. I'll just open that end up and stuff it in there and pack it away, and that gives me some space. Sorry, I'm a little cold right now. Tongue is freezing up. Brr. But that'll give me some space, and I'll make some breakfast. Nice hot cup of coffee. Tarp is still keeping me dry. Let's try the rice. I can tell it feels a little loose in there. That would be my fault, not theirs. I think I added too much water. I just kind of eyeballed it. But if it's rice soup, that's okay. Let's see how my wife's second choice is here. Mango sticky rice. I don't know how sweet it's going to be. I see little pieces of mango in there, so that's cool. Oh, coconut milk powder, and yucca root. It's probably for thickening. Sesame seed, turmeric. It's not bad. A little mango, coconut. Not too sweet. Now it might be because I added too much water, but I like it. So my return to Backpacker's Pantry was successful. So thank you, Sarah, my lovely wife, for the breakfast. This will get me fueled up and warmed up along with my coffee. Everything is packed up behind me here. It's just the tarp that's up. So once I finish this, I'll quickly wrap that up. I'll keep my rain gear on, and we'll head back out and backtrack basically the same way we came in for, I don't know, I think that was like only like a quarter mile or something like that when we saw those deer yesterday. And then we'll return to that grassy kind of forest road and hop back on the trail, see what goes on. Now remember, like I said yesterday, not a lot of elevation change today, which is fine with me because it's going to be a bit slippery, but should be a nice rainy walk in the woods. First I'm going to enjoy my breakfast and my coffee, and then we'll get back on the rainy trail. All right, that's where we were. I'm bidding adieu to my trusty 55-gallon drum. See you, buddy, you've been good to me. That's the trees we had to set up on. This is the other foundation here. Cool little spot for sure, but time to move on. You can see, I don't know if you can see, but you might be able to hear at least, over there, not too far down that hill, is where the water source is. Nice stream running by, so it is a cool campsite. If anybody comes out here yourself, perhaps, hopefully in better weather, check it out. I am recording all the GPS data for this trip like I usually do, so there'll be a link in the video description if you're interested. And yeah, I'm gonna move along. Like I said, I think it's gonna be rain all day. I searched up and down the whole East Coast. It was a quick trip, so I was trying to stay within 5-hour drive. And believe it or not, this was my best option weather-wise. Some places had rain yesterday too. But it is what it is. So here we go. Back on the trail. and back into the rain. All right, well that didn't take too long, and we are back at the intersection from yesterday. It was actually a mile, a little further than I thought, but went pretty quick. So there's where we popped out yesterday. That's where we went up to go to camp. We're not going to head that way. Feeling surprisingly upbeat today. I feel pretty good. My pack is about as light as it's going to get. I've eaten virtually all the food out of there. I just have a couple snack bars in my front pack hidden underneath my rain jacket here. My water, I'm just carrying 16 ounces today. There's really no shortage of that around here. And yeah. Also, usually I'm tempted on the last day to skip breakfast and just get moving, but I think energy level wise, the mango rice got me having a little pep in my step. So I'm enjoying myself. I was worried I was going to be a little bummed out by the rain, and who knows? We got 8 more miles of this, so it could change. But for now, feeling pretty good. Oh wait, nope. I still won't let it affect my mood yet, but something told me to look at my GPS, and I'm going the wrong way. All right, at least I caught it early. It's only been, I guess, a few hundred yards at the most. Yet another wrong turn. That's never happened before, has it? All right. And we're back. All right, so let's try this again. I'm supposed to make a left coming out of there. I apparently needed another cup of coffee because I made a left after I came out and started looking at it from here. Whoopsie. All right, here we go. Same trail, different direction, same rain. Let's do it. Well, it was less than a mile actually. We're hanging a right. And from my notes, it says we go back into the woods soon, so maybe this narrows down. We'll see. Whew. We are dealing with some fallen trees. I see another one up here, even beyond it, on this section of the trail. That's a big one right there. Oh, I had to crawl under that one. Luckily I didn't rip my rain pants. These I've actually had for years now, but they're just the super ultralight borderline disposable Frog Togs rain suit. It's like 20 bucks for the whole thing. But I've torn a jacket before by snagging it on a branch. You have to be careful with that. I'll carry a little duct tape and you can repair them real easy, but I've had this jacket since I ripped it the first time, like 4 years now or something. Not a bad investment, and only a few ounces a piece. All right, looks like the coast is clear now. Yeah, I'm really on a roll today with navigation. I had my hood up and walked right by this. This is a trail I was looking out for to head left. And yeah, to tell you the truth, crawling under that tree was not necessary. I was supposed to turn before it. That is a trail, just not my trail. 2 in a row. Blame that one on the hood. Nice narrow path now though. We're off the fire road vibe. Although at least that was a grassy road back there, easy on the feet. But this is even nicer. A little more immersive. And the moss feels pretty good on the feet too. Actually, we're popping right back out of the woods shortly after. That was a nice opening. Similar to that one we saw yesterday. Kind of crossing the same terrain as we head back to close off the loop. And the raindrops are mostly, now I was going to say before I thought they were just dripping off the trees, but now that I'm out here, it doesn't seem to have let up any, so it's just a constant drizzle. That's all right. Got some neon leaves in here. Pretty neat. Tell you what, I wouldn't say I'm starving, but I think my rice is, earlier I was thinking I can't even picture my post-hike cheeseburger. I was so full, but I'm about 4 miles in now, so I'm getting that appetite back, which is good. So that'll be in my future. And we're back to yellow blazes and neon green leaves. Well, I popped out on this highway. Looks like from my GPS and my notes, I go left a little bit. I popped out right there, and I don't see any indicators. It's kind of weird, but I think it might be up here on the other side. Hope so. Yeah, I mean, that looks like something, and it's right on my track for the GPS, but I guess watch out for that if you do this. No signage. A lot of spots with no signs. It can be a little tricky. Thankfully I have the GPS to keep me on task. I don't see any blazes either. Oh, wait. Blue blazes now. That's funny, unless I missed it. I don't think so. We probably should have a blaze out on the road, but that's all right. We're back on task. Guess we're around 6 miles in now. We're working up on it at least. And we're back to the neon green leaves too. Not quite as vibrant as the other ones, but pretty cool nonetheless. Nice little area. Definitely deep back in the woods now. Making progress. We're getting there. One step closer to that burger. Cheeseburger, that is. Well, that looks familiar. That's where we started out. This is the split. That's where we began our loop. And vehicle parking lot is over there. So ended up being more like 10.5 miles today. So maybe 20-21 miles for a whole loop. It's been pretty good. Even with the rain, just really beautiful area. Just overall, I would highly recommend this if you're anywhere within range of this area. I would come check it out. There's a big network of trails in here. You can totally do a different variation of what I did. Although, if you want a starting point, like I said, I'll put the GPS data in the video description and a list of the trails I used and stuff like that too. But yeah, just over that hill is the vehicle, and we'll be wrapping this up, I suppose. Of course, I realized about halfway through today that I did not bring a pair of socks for the ride home. And these Merrill MQM boots, I can't really recommend them. I got them in August, took them to Zion. Now granted, I did do the Narrows, which is basically walking up to your ankles to knees the whole time, but in water, which is tough on boots. But when I got back, within a month, both of them failed at the same point, right here and here. They just, water pours in like a sieve, and since they're Gore-Tex, they don't want to dry out afterwards. So if it was just the one boot, I'd say bad luck, but the fact that it happened on both, not too good. So it'll be a wet ride home, but that's all right. We'll get that heat going soon. Just over this hill. Yep, there she is. So there you have it. Back to the Jeep and mission complete. So Quehanna Trail, Pennsylvania, I really enjoyed it. I want to thank everybody out there for joining me on this one. Stomach's rumbling, but I'm gonna have to go take care of that. Till next time, I'm Syntax 77, and right now, it's cheeseburger time.